welcome to the episode 4 of the crime Foretold. Looks like we activated our plot armor abilities and envisioned some sort of variant of future in last episode, and then Baiji asked us who killed him in this future. Somehow is he aware about it. I think the game will tell us anyway some sort of stuff, so let's just jump into it. A paradox. A real paradox. A real paradox indeed. The effect was revealed without even knowing the cause. Without knowing the order, chaos has already engulfed the world. Without knowing the light of dawn, the soul has already donned the morning robe of shadows.
没人知道它是如何诞生的，或许连影子自己也都不知道。
No one knows how they originated. Perhaps the shadows themselves don't even know. A century years ago, Amber Street? We are playing as Shadow?
声音从哪来？
That sound. Where did it come from?
哦，是我在发出声音。
Oh, that's me. I'm making that sound.
奇也怪哉，为何我会发出声音呢？
How strange. Why am I making a sound? At that toss, the living thing, the eerie shadows cast a glance at the other things around it, observing them closely for a while.
只有我会发出声音。不对，只有我能口吐人声。
Only I can make a sound. No, that's not precise. Only I can make the sound of humans.
人。
Human.
哦，有了。
Oh, yes. Are we? You're like a shadow. Oh, we can jump. That's good. Are we like the shadow of the dead people here around?
死了。
Death.
没气了。
Breathing has slowed down.
整理一下现状吧。
Let's quickly go over the situation here.
我不知从何而来，但应该是被影塑形，拥有了可以活动的躯体。
I don't know where I came from, but I must have been shaped in the shadows and granted a body that can move.
不仅如此，我还可以使用人类的语言。这在影子里似乎有些特别，可也并不能让我就此高谁一等。
Not only that, I can also speak the human language. This ability seemed fairly unique among the shadows, although it doesn't make me superior.
毕竟，按这里的自然规则，
After all, according to the rules here,
所谓人，也不过是食物链的一环而已。
humans are only a link in the food chain. As it spoke, the living thing in the shadow glanced at the human corpses lying beside it.
难道是这几个人临死之际的恐惧，从影中催生出了我，所以我才能说人话。
Was I born from the fear those people experience upon facing their own death? Was that what gave me the gift of speaking their thought?
不对，其他影子的诞生似乎也大同小异。
That can't be right. It's not much different from the birth of other shadows. This shadow is very self-aware.
算了，为什么也没有那么重要。
Whatever. After all, the why isn't so important, and somehow his voice, I'm not sure, but he gives me Baiji vibes.
无论如何，既然有了身体，就去干点正事吧。
Whatever the case, the fact is that now I have a body, so I should do something with it.
至少要先学会使用自己的生理机能。
The least I can do is to learn how to use my functionalities. Oh, we don't attack people. Keep going. Sorry. Help!
完了完了，我们死定了
There we go. No, attack the
果然
target.
他们也是这具身体的
Just as
食
I
物，
thought. They're also food.
试试看吧。
Let me try. No! No, this is root game. Oh my god. I don't want to. Sorry? I hope it didn't hurt.
原来如此。由于人类在心智上的疏异，我的确算是他们的天敌。
I see. Humans are very different from us in their own way of thinking, which makes me a natural enemy of theirs.
那么接下来，按部就班，我也应该审视这满溢而出的恐惧。
It's only logical that the next step is to feed on the bursting fears.
哦，又一份食物，
Oh, another meal? Okay, this is not Baiji, but this is Baiji.
希望我不会吃撑。
Hopefully I won't starve myself.
咦，这人倒是有些奇特，既不尖叫，又不逃跑，
Uh-huh.
甚至
This one is strange. He neither screams or runs away. He's even
毫无恐惧。
fearless.
再靠近点观察吧。
Should get a bit closer.
即便是那天赐之物，也容不下这床床之影吗？
Even their godsend cannot contain the sheer scale of these shadows.
大势已去，命数分晓，如同冥海与白羽。廊丘的结局也已被划定。
It's all over now. The ending is upon us. Like Minghai and Baiyu, Langqiu's fate is also sealed.
不，事到如今，难道我还要怨天尤人吗？正是我的过信，促成了眼下这般死局。
Now that it's come to this, am I going to blame others for it? I was overly confident. That was what led us to our situation becoming so desperate.
无可辩驳，此乃我之罪业。
There's no arguing that this is my sin.
此人当真古怪，看上去纤弱无力，又一脸的苦相。 按理说应该早就被其他影子盯上了。
What a weird man. Someone so sad and fragile could have been consumed by other shadows long ago.
但他却还有闲暇在这里自言自语，絮絮叨叨。
Despite that, he still finds the time to babble to himself.
再研究一会儿吧。
I will study him a bit longer. The living things in the shadow was very curious, probably because it had just become to life. Just as it was about to disappear into the darkness, so that it could observe the strange man a bit more closely, a gentle breeze brushed by.
哎呀，总算是找到你了。
I finally found you.
怎么，搞砸了事情，在这里自怨自艾？难得能见到你有如此可爱的一面啊，白吉少爷。
What? Are you feeling sorry for yourself after screwing things up? It's rare to see you like this, young Master Baiji. It's almost cute. And this is the model of Ajita? Show of Gadgets? Look how good she looks like. Some of the hair reminds a bit on Lantern, right? Man.
吓我一跳，这女人什么时候来的？
She gave me quite a fright. Where did that woman come from?
以及，原来这男子唤作白吉。
So, Baiji's his name.
阿杰塔小姐，没想到你会亲自前来。
Miss Ajita, I didn't think you would come personally.
在下还以为你最多只会使用那可以在远处与人交谈的法器，发来数据奚落。
I thought you would use that artifact of yours, the one that can communicate with people from afar, to harangue me.
哎呀，你把我当什么人了？
What kind of person do you think I am?
今日可是复影之时，就算是我遇到这种事关世界命运的头等大事，也不至于还要继续宅在家中把玩藏物吧。
Today is the day for the shadows to be born. It will determine the fate of the entire world. When an event of this magnitude is upon us, even I would refrain from staying at home and playing with my collection. And, okay, this is no way she will not be playable. Look at her, look how tall she is. This is beautiful. Kinda an argument to say for Ajita. She might be well playable. Maybe, I hope. Look, you cannot waste this design. Sorry for me rambling about it, but I really find her beautiful.
更何况，这复影的法门，若是拿去发表论文，你我还要一同署名呢。
Besides, if we were to publish an article about the shadow binding technique, you and I would be listed as co-authors.
可惜，虽然自诩手艺精巧，如今看来，在下反而不是做实验的那块料啊。
I boast a lot about my nimble hands, but sadly, it appears I'm not cut out for conducting experiments.
所以，黄道星之环呢？
So, what happened to the Zodiac Astral Ring? Upon hearing the snappy name, the man named Baiji shook his head, frowning.
不堪重负，崩裂成了数个碎片。
It could not bear the pressure and split into several fragments. Let me guess, 7 of them?
哎呀，看来把影的全能整合为起点， 终究也只有理论上的可行性。
Oh my, I suppose it's only theoretically feasible to integrate the Shadow's authorities in a singular point.
不过，有一点倒是和你预料的一样。
But one thing happened just as you predicted.
星之环毕竟不是凡俗之物，虽然碎裂，其威能犹在。我已用厌恶将其承载。
The Astral Ring isn't just a mundane gadget. Even though it split apart, its power is still there. I'm currently using a counterfield to store that power.
哦，那接下来你打算怎么做？先发一通牢骚如何？虽说个性轻浮，但我或许还算是个合格的倾听者。
So, what are you going to do next? Why don't you went about it first? You could call me frivolous, but I might just be a good listener.
不，这一切的结果都是在下的独断专行所致，责任也该由我一人承担。
No. All that happened because of my impulsiveness. I alone should take the responsibility.
是了，我就知道你一定会这么说。如果要在这廊丘找一个责任感的奴隶，那你一定是最佳范本。
Yeah, I knew you would say that. In all of Longqiu, you are the prime example of a man who is a slave to responsibility.
或许吧。在下还是更适合回应你的第一个问题。
Maybe. I would better answer your first question.
接下来，在下要将黄道星之环的碎片交到合适的人手中。此物的生物亲和性，或许还有让我等挽回败局的机会。
Next, I plan to hand over the fragments of the Zodiac Astral Ring to the right people. The biological affinity of this instrument might give us an opportunity to turn the tables.
哦，我们的确推演过这个权宜之策。虽然与法无缘，但所谓术的人选，你已经有计较了。
Oh, I remember working on this contingency plan together. I don't think we can do anything about the law, but regarding the shoes, do you have any candidates in mind? And Baiji nodded.
我希望他们能以自己的天赋异禀，找到并开辟某种调和隐灾的道路。
I hope they can utilize their exceptional talents to discover or devise some methods to suppress the shadow calamities.
打不过就加入，倒也没那么丢人。
If you can beat your enemies, you might as well learn their ways. There is no shame in that.
而除此之外，在下今日的动向也已经被诸方捕捉，所以也不得不做好迎接那些人的准备。
Apart from that, I'm afraid they have already figured out my whereabouts. So I must prepare myself for confrontation.
听起来你可有的忙了。既然如此，那就祝你好运喽。
Sounds like a lot of work. If that's the case, then I wish you good luck.
是非之地不宜久留，就算是我，也必须早做计划呢。
One should not linger in a place where trouble is brewing. Even I have to make plans in advance.
请且留步。
Wait a moment. Baiji approached Ajita and put a small object in her palm. The living thing in the shadows didn't quite catch what it was.
哦，
Oh, really?
看来我也是人选之一。
Does this mean I'm also one of the candidates?
自然，弃用之名 你当之无愧。
Sure, there's no one more suitable than you to bear the name Gadgets.
那我就权且收下了。
Alright then, I will take it.
在下知道，你的宏愿远非这小小廊丘所能容纳。
I know Langchu is too small for the grandness of your vision.
只愿你如往昔一般，在力所能及的时候，不吝相助我等。
I only hope that you can help us to the best of your abilities, as you have always done. What if, just a random thought, what if the Ajita, which, oh my god, I have to say it looks amazing again, actually the teacher of Chengshu and Entropy, like the teacher you know, like the connection with Box of Memory, and they're pretty close to each other right now.
你太客气了，我的朋友。
You are too kind, my friend.
虚愿的真实，唯有器用可以承载。至少于此刻而言，我们的合作还是各取所需的健康关系。
The truth of falsehood can only be held by gadgets. We are a mutually beneficial partnership, where each of us can obtain something we want from the other, at least for the time being.
他们究竟在说些什么？神神叨叨的。
What the heck are they talking about? Sounds like they're up to something. Who is this shadow?
不过，似乎和影有关，我还是得好好听听。
It seemed to have something to do with shadows. I would better listen carefully.
好了，你该去继续完成拯救廊丘的伟业了。我嘛，究竟还是躺在自家的沙发里更为安逸。
All right. It's time for you to carry on with your work and save Langchu. As for me, I find it more comfortable to curl up on my sofa. Or that. Maybe. Ah, damn.
再会，阿杰塔小姐。
Goodbye, Miss Ajita. She's so looks so good. I don't want to say goodbye to her. The woman's footsteps faded off into the distance, just when the living thing in the shadows thought she had gone far enough.
哦，对了，姑且提醒你一下吧，救世主。
Oh yes, a small reminder, Savior. I feel bad for the shadow.
那边的阴影里有一只小怪物，已经鬼鬼祟祟盯了你很久啊。
There's a little monster lurking in the shadows over there. It's been staring at you for quite some time now.
不好，影的产物，因为
Oh no!
附影而被净化了吗？
Oh no!
那么，
Escape!
果然，
No!
他操纵影子
I
的能
just
力
thought,
甚
I
至在
just
我
thought
之
his
上。
abilities to control shadows surpass their
要是躲
minds.
不开，小明可就完了。
If I can fight from you, then I'm done for good. Oh my god. Okay, let's attack him. Let's attack him. Oh no. Oh, this is unfair, Baichi. Oh, I need to
Cool.
fight for my survival. Oh no. Enough. Void. A complete void. But it wasn't entirely empty. Oh, we're back to this picture and holy. It was a fairly amazing experience. A sensation it had never had before. It kept floating in, like a tickle merging into a lake or a sea, and brimming out again. It was the same soul, but dressed in a brand new dark attire. Oh, we got reborn.
我还活着？
Am I still alive? Okay, the shadows like never leave this place. They just getting rebirth.
这可真是奇也怪哉。
That was strange. And they also have all their memories.
我的样子和刚才不一样了，但是刚才的事情我还都记得。
Yeah, this shadow is like very special. Maybe it's perception itself. By the way, we found out that perception is actually a shadow. The last episode. I don't look the same, but I remember everything that happened a moment ago.
用人的话来说，这简直就像
As humans would put it, it's like, but and it's also a way of humans.
做了一场梦。
A dream. Okay, don't make this sound like you are entropy.
不过，即使拥有方才的记忆，似乎也无法证明刚刚的影子和现在的我，两者是同一存在。
However, even though I can recall what just happened, I don't think it's sufficient to prove that the shadow from before and my current being are one and the same.
不好，我好像差点陷入到一个几近无解的问题里，这对改善现状并无益处。
No, this is no good. I nearly got carried away, pondering a question without an answer, which isn't helpful to my current predicament.
既然拥有其记忆，那么姑且认为，刚才我被那个男人杀过一次，似乎并无不妥。
Since I do have recollection of those events, I don't suppose there's anything wrong in assuming that I was killed by that man fairly recently.
简单易懂。这样一来，剩下的就唯有行动。
There you have it. Simple and straightforward. All that's left is to act.
白吉，他可能还在左近，逃命的时候，我必须小心。
IG might still be around. I must be careful when making my grand escape. And we're again playing with the shadows. Somehow they are really cute. The shadows are very cute, mate. Oh no. Flee! 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 Bad, 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 bad. Oh. It's a trap. She is not wounded. It's a trap.
原来如此，勇士的负累吗？
See. A burden forever.
看来他所言非虚。不过，
Suppose he was telling the truth. But
这样就好。
this will do.
这些影子，全是被他一人所杀。
Did she killed all the shadows herself?
他究竟是什么人？
What is she? She's destruction.
这样一来，朗秋多多少少也会变得清静一些吧。
This should at least make things quieter in Langqiu. More or less.
白起，你所赠予的星之环，并不是什么累赘。我会证明给你看。
IG, the astral ring you give me is not a burden, and I shall prove it to you.
他认识刚才那个危险的男人，也知道那个什么星之环。
She knows the dangerous man, as well as that thing called the astral ring.
他就是男人所说的具有资质之人吗？
Is she one of the qualified candidates he mentioned?
这是属于灯的道路。
This is Lantern's path.
如果影子当真无穷无尽，那我的杀戮也将无休无止。
If there's no end to those shadows, then so shall my slaughter be.
好了，小憩的时间结束，
Alright, the break is over.
是时候继续下一场死斗了。
It's time for the next death match. Oh no, not again. Come on. That was quick.
糟糕，又出血了，可别遮挡了视线啊！
Ah, I'm breathing again. It better not obscure my vision.
你该退场了。
Show's over for you. Okay, that was quick. Letting go can be a beautiful experience. In a deep slumber, the mind can rid itself of the constraints of time and enjoy true freedom in a void resembling death. And so, things continues in this way for an indefinite amount of time. And the shadow began to stir again. The sea never dies between the ebb and flow of tides, just as water begins to seep in when the last drop evaporates from the puddle. The new round of creation was near its completion in the gathering of darkness. It looks like the shadows coming like in waves.
有意思。
Interesting.
现在我可以确信了，至少我的记忆确实可以通过影来延续。
I'm sure it for now. At least my memories are carried on by shadows. It's like, you know, like it's like ReZero, but a little bit different, right?
而如果想得更自我一点，每当我的身体烟消云散，影子就会为我准备全新的躯壳。
From a more egoistic perspective, whenever my body disappears, the shadows will prepare a new one for me.
可这又是为什么呢？
But why? The living thing in the shadows could not help but throw another glance at its surrounding peers, secretively hoping one of them could talk with it. Despite waiting for some time, however, nothing happened. In the end, it came to a conclusion.
我是特别的，
I am special.
我不同于其他的影子，只有我能够理解人的语言，只有我能变换不同的身躯，只有我能保有记忆。
I'm different from the other shadows. Only I can understand the human's language. Only I can change bodies and retain my memories.
只有我能够思考。
Only I am capable of intelligent thoughts.
委实有些意思。
This is very interesting indeed. The living thing in the shadows pondered long on the fact that it could think.
我对自己还所知甚少，或许这种转生的能力有其界限，保险起见，还是少死几次为妙。
I don't know much about myself. Maybe there's a limit to my ability to reincarnate. Best to refrain from dying on daily basis. Just to be safe.
甚至，这也有可能只是记忆造就的错觉，而非灵魂的延续。那个会记得我的下一个我，其实将与我完全无关。
This might even be a trick of the memory instead of continuation of soul. The next me who remembers me might have nothing to do with me at all.
如果真是这样，那就一次都不能死了。
If that's the case, then I absolutely, positively cannot die. Not even once.
不过，
However, the living thing in the shadow trapped into its perception, a magical faculty different from the 5 senses of human, and started to assess its own situation. Okay, when they use the word perception, it is probably perception. Then, for the first time since its birth, it felt happy and at ease.
奇哉，
It's
妙哉。
wonderful.
仅凭直觉而言，之前的消亡不但没有让我感觉疲惫和痛苦，反而让我感受到一股奇妙的充盈。
Intuitively, the deaths from earlier did not make me feel tired or filled with pain. Instead, I'm filled with this strange fullness.
我能感受到，在我的深处有某物连接着这片名为狼丘的天地。
I can feel that something deep inside me is connecting to this land called Langqiu.
而它似乎在不断壮大，对，无时无刻不在膨胀。
And it seemed to be growing. Yes, it's expanding every second. I also think they give its male voice just to not directly us connect this shadow to perception.
我感觉到恐惧在吹拂，这便是飞翔的感觉吗？
We are very happy that we can fly. This is Baiji? Okay, run, 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 run. We have to save us. Wait, this is perception. Why I do care so much about my actually hiding.
白起，他似乎比之前虚弱了许多。
Baiji. He appears much weaker than before.
看来，黄道星之环崩裂时产生的巨大冲击，有一部分未得消解，转而被加诸此身。
It appears that the colossal impact produced by the zodiac astral rings splitting didn't fully dispense. Some of it has been forced onto my body.
这也是身为不成器的使用者所该承受的报应吗？
This is a price I have to pay for being an unworthy wielder.
也好，今日琥珀结之残景，皆由我一手造成。
I suppose I deserve it. I alone am responsible for the tragedy on Amber Street today.
我必承其罪业，竭此一生，以求偿赎。
I must bear the weight of that sin, atone for it for the rest of my life. Looks like he also probably his manipulation with Astral Ring gave perception birth too.
只是对不住他们6人，又受我牵连，今且成为弥天罪人。
Nevertheless, I am sorry for dragging the six of them into this, making them mortal sinners.
6人 是说被他分予了星之环的人吗？
Is he referring to the people to whom he gave the astral ring?
我等欲饮其数。
We, the venerable Seven Shoes,
必将荡绝影灾。
shall purge the shadow calamities. Oh no, he noticed us. GG. And let me guess, now we get a female voice. Or how many deaths do we experience with shadows? The moment its third body was crushed, two epiphanies came rushing to the being in the shadow. Firstly, the man named Baiji was not entirely bereft of fear. Only the shadow projection by his fear was so colossal that it extended beyond its vision. Secondly, it had grasped the nature of its being. The whisper from its mysterious faculty only occurred upon collision with a shadow of that magnitude. I am the shadow. What is a shadow? When no one is watching, a shadow appears as if it doesn't exist in this world, growing only in silence. When it is large enough to be noticed, it has already become inseparable from everyone, to the point that nobody is able to shake it off. Starting to get philosophical. A shadow yearns for manipulates and harvests fear, and fear is the most hideout whip in the world, lashing all those who have succumbed to it. The people lost to shadows lack neither courage nor dignity, but fear can destroy those precious qualities like a sharp blade cutting through thin muslin. It bows the heads of arrogant men and defiles pure heart. It goes without saying that the lowly commoners have no way to escape from its claws. Even the most illusionist emperors cannot help but bow to it, descending into its pit of shameless minions. After all, everything converges to remove justice and reason from a man who has been brought up to command others. Yes, so this is the answer to the questions. Shadows are fear, and fear is power.
阿杰塔女士，你的随想写完了吗？
Have you finished writing your journal, Miss Ajita?
抱歉，让你久等了。
Sorry to keep you waiting. And again. Playable when? She turned around, a charming smile. Even though there was no reason to keep the words a secret, she still concealed the notes behind her with her elegant figure.
这样一来，我们终于有时间可以好好聊一聊了。
So we finally have time to talk.
影的意志，
Wheel of the Shadows. Okay, so... Wait. Did we just, like, imprison them?
所谓好好聊一聊，就是指用你的法器，将我像待宰杀的牲畜一样五花大绑吗？
By talking, I assume you mean tying me up with your artifact, as if I were a lamb to be slaughtered.
哎呀，面对将这廊丘角的天翻地覆的影之大能，我一个弱女子总不能毫无防范吧？
Well, after all, you are the almighty shadow who has wrought untold havoc in Langchu. You could hardly blame a defenseless woman like myself for taking certain precautions.
放心吧，你会适应他们的。
Don't worry, you will get used to them.
还真是张口就来。
Your lies come so easily.
你既不是什么弱女子，我也不是什么大能。
You are by no means defenseless, and I am far from almighty.
至少，现在还不是。
At least, not for now.
我本以为你会是一个更加狡黠或粗野的存在，没想到你竟然还挺率直。
I thought you would be more cunning or savage. I wasn't expecting you to be so straightforward.
别装了，弃用。你早已知晓我的存在。
Don't play games with me, gadgets. You have been always aware of my existence for some time now.
你是唯一一个看破我真实身份的人，甚至早于虚焰这个欺术之手。
You are the only person who has discovered my real identity, even before falsehood, the head of the seven shoes.
你是在说什么时候？
And when do you think that was?
是你混进努特里斯科家宴会的时候，还是你潜入互助会偷看他们禁书的时候，亦或是
Was it when you sneak into Nutrichus banquet, the Telemus banquet, when you infiltrated the Mutual Aid Society to read their forbidden books, or
在琥珀街大恐慌的那天，你窃听我和白吉谈话的时候？
on the day of the Amber Street Great Panic, when you were eavesdropping on Baiji and I? Okay, she knows everything. You like, yeah, you cannot you think you're looking in the shadows. She is looking in the whites.
难以置信，那个时候，连我都无法清晰地认识到，自己已经作为影的意志诞生于世，而你却说，我在那个时候之前就已经。
Unbelievable. At that time, I myself had not realized that I have been born into this world at the will of shadows. But now you're saying that before even that I had already?
你
You,
弃用之术，阿杰塔，
show of gadgets, Ajita.
你究竟是什么人？
Who are you?
没想到有一天，我会被一只怪物用看怪物的眼神盯着呢。
I never imagined that one day a monster would be staring at me as if I were the monstrous one.
不过你放心，我并不是什么未卜先知的仙灵魔怪，我只是拥有比这个世界的众生稍加深远的视野罢了。
But rest assured that I'm no fairy or demon who can foretell the future. It's merely that my vision is slightly deeper and broader compared with other beings in this world. Slightly? I think this is like a little bit underestimated.
虽然至于我如何看破你的身份确实毫无干系，
Although that has nothing to do with how I found out about your identity.
视野，
Vision?
看来你是对前一个话题更感兴趣的类型了。那么，就让我这样概括吧。
Looks like you're the type of who is be more interested in the first topic. Let me put it like this.
虽然目前似乎难以涉足，但在名为世界的孤岛之外，的确存在着一片浩瀚的海洋。
Beyond this island, which you know as your world, lies a vast sea, one which seems difficult to reach at that moment.
海浩瀚无垠，远非小小的廊丘所能比拟。
The sea is both vast and boundless. Their minuscule landmass, Langchu, is no match for that.
更何况，在这无尽的海中，还包含着无以计数的其他孤岛。
Moreover, there are countless other islands in this infinite sea.
你是说，在廊丘之外，还有许许多多像廊丘一样的世界？
Are you saying that there are more worlds like Langchu out there?
多到超乎你的，不，应该说，超乎所有生灵的想象。不过，于视野而言，这仍然不是重点。
More that you or any living being could ever imagine. However, this is not the point. As far as my vision is concerned,
除了岛之外，海中还存在着真正重要的地方，就让我们叫它大陆吧。
apart from the islands, there is a place of overwhelming importance in the sea. Let's call it the continent.
那里是文明赖以扎根的基石，是一切历史和传承的原型，也是唯一值得严肃对待的信标。
The continent is the cornerstone of civilization, the prototype of all history and legacy, and the only beacon that deserves to be taken seriously. When she mentioned the word beacon, an almost imperceptible glimmer of longing seems to shine in Ajita's eyes. From what the shadows remembered, the somewhat cynical woman had never appeared like this before.
奇怪，你不像那种会因为一些模棱两可的论断就异想天开的人。
Strange. You don't strike me as the type who would fantasize over some dubious statements. We make her upset. After a few seconds, the strange look in Arjita's eyes disappeared, and she returned to her normal self.
我也算是一位小有名气的商贾啊，经手的物品可不仅仅只有孤岛里的寻常货色。
I'm a rather famous merchant, you know. The goods I deal with are not limited to the common items you will find on this island.
关于我的事，你也是从这些天外来物里得知的？
Did you also learn about me from these aliens?
算是提供了一些启发。
Sort of. I guess they gave me some inspiration.
这样说吧，在被我称为大陆的那个世界中，曾经出现过许多和影在类似的意象，或者说全能。
I will put it like this. In the world I call continent, anomalies once took place that were similar to the shadow calamities. They were, in fact, the exercising of certain authorities. Sound pretty much like Honkai.
在相关的记载中，这些意象最终十有八九都演化出了自己的意志。虽说促成这一结果的原因不尽相同。
According to the records, most of those anomalies evolved to possess a will of their own, but the reasons behind this outcome varied. Who are your provider? Is it like Vita and Aicha?
魁情夺理， 如果你真的不存在，那我反而要更惊讶一些。
So it would surprise me more if you did not exist. Wait, Will of Shadows. It's like Will of Honkai. Oh my god.
你还真是个可怕的女人。
You are a scary woman. Oh, she is a scary woman.
鉴别真品和俗品的能力，可是成为一个成功商人的必修课呢。
Well, the ability to differentiate between precious and mundane items is a must for every successful business person.
那么，我们是不是终于可以进入正题了？
Shall we get down to business then?
哦，
Really?
阿杰塔，你用如此独特的手法将我擒住，不会就是为了向我普及一下廊丘的天文地理知识，再借此自夸一通吧？
I suppose you must have a reason for capturing me in such an inspired manner, and it wasn't to gloat to me about your knowledge of Langchu's astronomy and geography.
那自然不是。我说过了，我是生意人，我愿意在你身上付出时间，当然是为了和你做点买卖。
Of course I have a reason. Like I said, I'm a businesswoman. The only reason I'm willing to spend time on you is to strike a deal, naturally.
买卖？你想和我交易？
To strike a deal? You want to make a transaction with me?
没错。为表诚意，我可以先展示一下我能为你提供的商品。
True. And to demonstrate my goodwill, I'm willing to show what I can offer you first.
不需要。
Nope.
哎呀，先别急着拒绝嘛。
Don't turn me down just yet.
你刚刚说我是唯一一个看破你真实身份的人，对吧？
Don't you just say that I'm the only person who has discovered your real identity?
你难道就没有想过，如果这样的人再有一个，情势会如何发展吗？
Has it ever occurred to you how things would develop if there were another person like myself?
自从琥珀街大恐慌以来，白吉深感自责，一直在廊丘四处奔走，探究那场灾难带来的影响。
Ever since the Amber Street's Great Panic, Baiji has been consumed by guilt, traveling all around to inquire into the aftermath of that calamity.
起初，他只是以为影灾受到了失控星之环的催化，变得更加狂暴而难驯。但最近，他已经隐隐察觉到事情不止于此。
In the beginning, he only thought that shadow calamities were becoming more rampant and untamed because of the catalyzing effect of the astral ring. But lately, he's also starting to realize that there's more to this issue.
他本就是天资聪颖之人，即使不像我一样借助外来的知识，恐怕也已经渐渐看清了藏于表象背后的真实。
Baiji is gifted. I'm sure he is starting to see the truth behind appearances, even without the outside knowledge I'm privy to.
一旦他知晓了你的存在，
Once he finds out about your existence,
那又如何？虽然我此刻还很弱小，但
then what? I may be weak now, but
凭他，凭你们，可无法将我彻底消灭。
he doesn't have the power to eradicate me at once for all. None of you do, even if you teamed up against me.
哼，这倒是一个很有自知之明的回答。
Huh? I can see you are well aware of your abilities.
你说的没错，御影七术 打从一开始就因为其行使力量的方式而不可能凌驾于你。
You're right. Due to the way the venerable Seven Shoes utilize their power, they will never have a chance to surpass you.
七术的全能无一不来自影中，就如同那街头巷尾渐渐盛行的围棋一般，乃是无中生有，化虚为实。
The authorities of the Seven Shoes are all derived from the shadows. They are similar to the fear gathering, which is getting popular among the people. Both are ways of creating something from of nothing and transmuting emptiness into substance.
可另一方面，虚就是虚，实就是实。被化为实物的影子，总有一天也要以归于虚无的形式回归平衡。
On the other hand, what is empty remains empty, and what is substantial remains substantial. The shadows transformed into substance will eventually return to the void, thus restoring balance.
用生意场上的话来说，就是无论怎么高筑债台，钱总有一天是要还的。而那债主嘛，自然就是影的真身，也就是你了。
To borrow a phrase from the business world, you can take out as many loads as you want, but at the end of the day, you will still have to pay what you owe. And in your case, the embodiment of all shadows would be the creditor.
我们是在借用你的力量与你抗争，虽然这导致你暂无全能可用，只能以影中怪物的形态存在，但终有一日，我们仍需还债。
We have been borrowing your strength to fight against you. While this may have temporarily deprived you of authorities to wield, forcing you to exist as a monster in the shadows, someday we will still have to repay the debts.
而你，只需要耐心等待那一天的到来，就可以成为最后的赢家。
All you need to do is patiently wait for that day to come, and you will come out on top. Oh, this is definitely perception she's talking about. She's aware.
既然你明白这些，那又谈何交易？
If you know all of this, what makes you think I will agree to that deal?
很简单，因为你害怕白吉。
It's because you are afraid of Baichi.
即便是在这种看似稳操胜券的情况下，你仍然害怕那个男人，害怕他可以想出什么意料之外的法子，剥夺你的不死，将你从世界上彻底抹去。
Even in a situation like this, where it seems certain you will be the ultimate victor, you are still terrified of that man. You are afraid he might be able to come up with some unexpected trick that will deprive you of your immortality and erase you from this world forever.
就像那天在琥珀街，他曾2度将你的身躯摧毁一样。
Just like how he destroyed your body twice on Amber Street that day.
哦，对了，为了进一步展示我的诚实，我还可以给你提供一个准确的信息。
Oh, yes. In order to prove that I'm being genuine, I can offer you another piece of information. The woman who called herself a business person looked down on the living thing in the shadow, chilling scorn gleaming in her eyes.
没错，白吉确实有一种方法，可以将你从狼丘完全攘除。
Baiji does have a way to eradicate you from Langqiu. The woman coyly stopped there, her eyes seeming to be saying that she intended to keep exactly how Baiji could accomplish this a secret. All she wanted was for it to know that it exists. Eventually Ajita kept, for example, she remained silent about a certain sure, unchanged destiny. You're back to Baiji?
雨吗？
It's raining.
如若真有神明，这可是你们为那孩子留下的垂怜之泪。
If the gods are real, this rain the tears of pity you shed for that child.
又或是不屑一顾的唾弃。
Or the spits of disdain.
为何总是功亏一篑？为何总是事与愿违？
Why do I always fail at the last step? Why can't things even go as I wish?
与其如此，不如让他到最后也不要显露什么特质。
It would be bad if she never exhibited any aptitude.
就这样，作为我的徒儿，无忧无虑地活下去。
That way, she could live a carefree life as my disciple. What do you mean by that?
天，何其不仁！
Fate can be a cruel mistress. Okay, it's not Songchu, right? It was a magical feeling. Deprived of teeth, claws, hands, feet, or a tail, this vessel could have been an inconvenient cage. But it was just what one desired, allowing the inhabitant to move freely within. All the senses were heightened. It was even possible to exercise authorities within such an extremely convenient space, and the owner of that vessel could disappear into the comforting shadows at any moment.
看来你对自己的新身体很满意。
It appears you're quite satisfied with your new body.
的确不算坏。
Oh, is this creation of perception?
如此，我便能瞒天过海。
So nobody will recognize me like this?
自然，谁也不会再怀疑你，谁也不会再过多关注你。你只需要耐心蛰伏，等待自己胜利的那天到来。
Sure, nobody will ever be suspicious of you again. Or pay too much attention. All you need to do is be patient and wait for the day of your victory. Why would you do this, Baiji Ajita?
阿杰塔，我再确认一次，
Let me make sure I have got this right.
在你去往海中寻找大陆的期间，助你看管、保护肉身，这就是你希望从我这里得到的回报。
You want me to keep your body safe while you are searching for this continent in the sea? Is that it?
没错。硬要说的话，倒是还有一件事。当我最终离开这座孤岛的时候，你不要加以阻拦。
Yes, and there's one other thing. To be precise, when I finally decide to leave this island, don't try to stop me.
我本来就无此意。不过，阿杰塔，
I never intended to, but Ajita,
在其他树都绞尽脑汁想要将我驱除之时，你却只想着一个人夹着尾巴逃跑。 这或许并不高明。
The other shrews are all racking their brains, trying to come up with a way to expel me. Meanwhile, all you are thinking about is how to escape by yourself. I would not exactly call that wise.
我倒是没看出来，你居然还有分析人心的功能。
Oh, I wasn't aware of your ability to read people's mind.
我可是在为你担心。我不会阻拦你离开，但白吉他们或许并不欣赏你的旅行计划。
I'm worried about you. I don't stop you from leaving, but Baiji and the others might not appreciate your travel plans.
我终将离开廊丘一事，白吉早已知晓。
Baiji has known for a while that I'm eventually leaving Langqiu.
不如说，正因为如此，我才要把你留下来，行使我弃用的权柄。甚至于许多种意义上，这对于他们来说都反倒更有好处。
That's actually the very reason why I'm keeping you here to exercise my authority as gadgets. In many ways, it's more beneficial for them.
没关系，想要理解这一点，你或许还要把自己的思考技能多磨练磨练。毕竟你的生命形式与我等相去甚远。
It's alright if you don't understand it fully. You will need to work hard on your analysis skills if you wish to understand that. After all, you are very different from us humans.
更何况，保持与人类之间的差异，对你来说，大概也是一个更好的选择。
Besides, I think it's better for you if you retain your differences.
无论如何，
Whatever the case,
之后的事，我就预先拜托你了。
I will be entrusting you with what happened next.
我的分身，觉。
My alter ego, perception. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Ajita is very interesting. He is the spot to have the engineer hoist with his own petard. He is the most sweet when in one line two crafts directly meet. The shadows cast by the wheel of destiny lurk in the dark. It only had to wait patiently, and everything would be just as it wishes.
在你方才的梦中，
In a dream you just had now,
我为何人所杀？
who was it that killed me?
关于你之前问我的那个问题，白吉先生，
About that
答案就在这
question
里。
that you asked me before. The answer lies here, Mr. Baiji. It literally lies here.
原来如此，这样想来，反倒是在下还不够信任阿杰塔小姐呀。
I see. If that's the case, I suppose I did not sufficiently trust Miss Ajita.
白吉先生，我没有说谎。
I wasn't lying, Mr. Baiji.
哦，不必担心。
Oh, no need to worry.
不如说，在今时此刻，你反而是在下唯一可以无条件信任的一人，寻梦者。
At this moment, instead, you are the only one whom I can trust unconditionally, Dreamseeker.
以及，我们终于见面了。
And they finally met.
影，
Shadow.
是非因果，皆 皆为虚妄。
Right and wrong, cause and effect, are all illusions.
我明明
But
影中取利，亦是一种规则。
drawing power from shadows is also a rule.
既是规则，便可以假为真。
As far as rules are concerned, falsehood can be a pest of Estrath.
哦，规则也能成为你临时制造的厌恶。
You can also make up rules spontaneously, like one of your counterfeits.
在阻止多尼戈尔时，你曾趁机将意识沉入影坛，妄图恢复自己的力量。不过，那时你并未一举成功。
When you stopped Onigo, you seized the opportunity to think your mind into the pool of shadows, attempting to regain your power. But you didn't succeed back then.
既然你栖身于工具，那么你也必将囿于规则。
As long as you dwell in a tool, you will be bound by rules.
至少此时此刻，你还与我等诸数并无二致。
You are now different from me and the other shoes. For now at least.
倒是比我想象的要聪明一些。
You are smarter than I thought.
照眼前的这个布置来说，你从什么时候开始怀疑我并非弃用的一道分身？
Judging from this setup, when did you start suspecting that I am not a clone of gadgets?
岁月蹉跎至今，我一直在推演，当年的错命究竟为廊丘埋下了何种灾祸。
Over all these years, I have always struggled to find out what kind of calamities the mistake I made back then would bring to Langchu.
这100年间，我等掌控影子愈发困难，此事绝非偶然。
The past century, it has become increasingly difficult for us to control the shadows. This cannot be a coincidence.
影中意志，或早或晚，已于我的失败中淡愈。只是我无法逆测，它究竟于何处藏身。
The will of shadows. It must have been born from my failure. Maybe it has only been around for a while, or perhaps it's been among us since long ago. The only problem was I could not figure out where it's been hiding.
所以，我冒昧利用寻梦者的书意，促成了一场适于占卜的梦境，来验证我模糊的猜想。
So, I took advantage of Entropy's special ability to craft a prophetic dream that helped confirm my hazy speculations.
如今看来，我为这个世界亲手创造的劫难，甚至不止一桩。
It appears I have brought more than one calamity upon this world.
现在才意识到这一点，你的人生还真是悲惨。
You have only realized this now? Your life is sad indeed.
白吉用一场精彩绝伦的未卜先知，验证早已注定的后果。在徒劳无功这件事上，你一向喜欢锲而不舍啊。
Verifying what it means to be with a spectacular prophecy. You have always been relentless about making an effort, Baiji, even when it's failure.
你应该知晓，我是无形之物，仅仅束缚一处栖身之所，于事无补。
You should know that I don't have a corporeal form. It's no use trying to find my temporary abode.
是啊，那的确是件难办的事。
You're right. This will only make things difficult.
此地不是说话之处，各位，我们不妨先离开这弃用之术的逆行之所，然后从长计议。
Gadget's hideout is hardly a place for conversation. We might want to leave this place first before discussing things further.
时间虽然紧迫，但砍柴之前，我们终究还要磨刀。
Time waits for no one, but we still have to sharpen our axe before using it to chop wood.
至于诀，留它在此便好。
As for perception, we might as well leave it here.
自欺欺人。
You are just lying to yourself.
大家跟上啊！
Oh, okay. Let's jump to. Let's talk to the perception. And Ajita is not dead. She's just, yeah, seeking for another
好
continent.
起来了！看来你发现了，我还有话要说。
I guess you know it already. I have something else to tell you.
要听听看吗？
Do you care to listen? I mean, yeah, why not? Kind of mad at you because I actually like you.
首先，我不知道你究竟预知了一些什么，但与此前所有的事情相同。
First, I don't know what you have foreseen, but like everything that occurred,
你一定对我存在深刻的误解。
I'm sure you don't understand what I'm about at all.
比如说，我其实想建议你们在与白吉从长计议之前，
For example, before you discuss things further with Baichi, I would advise you to... Eh man, she's doing this again. She literally did this in last episode. Do you think I can believe you? I wish I could, but no way I will tap into this twice. You literally... Oh, no, she makes so difficult for us to understand who to trust. Oh my god.
先去寻找一处风水适宜的合葬之地。
Take a grave first, somewhere with good feng shui.
人固有一死，这可是你们的头等大事。
All humans must die, so this should be your highest priority. Okay, perception, don't be like this.
看来你的确是个知书达理之人。
You look well, read and reasonable to me.
你知道天地万物没有什么可以逃脱死亡的魔爪，因为世界的规则就是如此。
So you must understand that no being can ever evade the claws of death, for that is how the world works.
而我一直瞒着各位数的，正是一个改变规则的机会。
What I have been keeping from the shoes is a chance to change that rule.
改变规则最容易的方式，就是从根基上将它毁灭。
The easiest way to change a rule is to destroy it from the bottom up. Pull it by the roots.
对其他人来说，想做到这一点，或许仍然难于登天。
For anyone else, that might be too difficult to achieve.
但恰好，各位眼前的这个廊丘，原本就注定分崩离析。
But as fate would have it, Langture, as you're witnessing now, is destined to be split asunder.
而每当世界有求于我，它的崩坏，甚至还要再加深一分。
Whenever a world wants something from me, its ruination will deepen even further. What are you truly after?
其实，我需要做的事只有一件，这一点从头到尾没有任何变化。
In fact, there's only one thing that I need to do, and it has been the same from the beginning.
我只需要
I only need to
等待。
wait. Is that all you want to say in your
是的，
defense? Yes,
这就
that's
是我
all.
要说的。我只是想告诉你们，
I just want to tell you,
从一开始，各位就没有任何胜算。
you never stood a chance of winning.
不如说，这才是我愿意和各位结伴而行的根本原因。
Actually, this was the main reason why I wanted to accompany you. Oh man, I really liked Perception.
关于这一点，各位请务必不要误解。
I do hope you don't have any delusions about that.
毕竟，我其实可以无限等待下去。
After all,
然而，
I can wait forever. But
你们却固有一死，不是吗？
you will die someday. Don't you agree? A Perception, you talking like this. You really don't think that we will find a way to actually dispel you? The device was quietly placed there. There are some strange lumbering signs made more aware of the immediate danger of reality. Yeah, she literally is just chilling and waiting. Ah, leave the place where Ajita is sleeping. As soon as the group left the hideout, which seemingly demanded silence, everyone started to talk more.
寻梦者，刚才到底是什么情况呀？决一怎么好像突然变成坏人了？总感觉你睁眼闭眼的几秒时间，就发生了好多不得了的事。
Dreamseeker, what did happen? Did Unperception just become the bad guy? I feel a whole bunch of important stuff took place between the few seconds you shut your eyes and open them again. Entropy briefly explained to Senna and the others what happened in that dream. From another battle against Lantern to the total distraction of Langchu, but she deliberately let out the parts where Baiji tried to kill Songchu. Oh. Well, that's probably the most... She picked a side, but she didn't tell about Baiji, like... Yeah, we are on the Baiji's side, okay, right now, but it might change.
先不提我自己生病的那一部分，
Well, setting aside the part where I got sick,
一旦机会合适，决一就会杀死除松雀之外所有的树，而且还会毁灭朗丘。
once the time is right, Unperception is gonna kill all the shoes apart from Sanctuary, and he's also going to destroy Langchu?
很遗憾，在确认了绝并不仅仅是弃用的情况下，他的确有这样的能力。
Unfortunately, now that we know that Perception is something more than a gadget, we have to face the truth, which is that it's entirely possible.
这么说，阿杰塔的事情也是绝做的。
Does that mean perception is also responsible for what happened to Ajita?
这件事倒是可能性不高。
That's not likely.
阿杰塔，他在七术之中也是十分独特的存在。如今的情况，只能说他已经对狼丘毫无兴趣，仅此而已。
Ajita is unique among the seven shoes. In light of the current development, one can only conduct that she is utterly disinterested in Langqiu. That's all.
可是那具尸体，
But the body?
七术之中，唯有他可以彻底抛弃凡躯。
Among the seven shoes, only she is capable of completely discarding her mortal husk.
这件事暂且不提。无论如何，七术失去了自己最富洞见的一位成员，这一点仍是事实。
Let's leave it aside for now. Whatever the case, we are the seven Shu have lost our most insightful member. That much remains true.
那个，你也别紧张嘛，有师傅这个靠山坐镇，随手就制住了将要作恶的绝，咱肯定能万事遂愿，否极泰来，还怕什么事情解决不了呀
About that, you don't need to be nervous. With Master here, we will be able to subdue perception without breaking a sweat. Before she can do anything evil, I'm sure everything will be fine. There's nothing that we can't deal with, right? Songchu, there's something more about your master.
需要我指出吗？你都把紧张两个字直接写在自己脸上了。
You're talking big, but I can see nervosity written on your face. Do I need to remind you of that?
丢人就丢人吧，咱当然紧张啦。
Whatever. I might as well admit it. Of course I'm nervous. By the way, which time is this? Where are we now? Is it like before Battle of Lantern? Is after? Which one?
你细想，先是多年未见的塔姨倒在那里，然后又瞧见寻梦者晕了过去，最后还不知道发生了什么，一激灵醒来的寻梦者就带着师傅又和决一对上了。
Just think about it. First of all, after so many years of not seeing her, I found Ajita lying here on the ground. And the next thing I knew, Entropy passed out. Before I could figure out what was going on, Entropy woke up and she and Master began arguing with Aunt Perception.
这情形着实变化的太快，你们说将心比心，谁能不紧张啊？
How could not be nervous when I have got so much stuff being hurled at me?
克拉丽应该也没有笑话你的意思。
I don't think Coralie was making fun of you.
哎呀，真要细细想来，那可真是太让人后怕了。
Come to think about it, it's really terrifying. Oh, I just realized that the whole day we spent with Songchu is also a dream.
要知道，你们还只是跟他同行了一路，咱可是跟他搭伙了几10年，还处处听他的意见。
All you did was travel together, but I have been partners with her for decades, and I have always listened to her advices.
这与头顶上悬了把刀子有什么区别？唉，想想就浑身发抖。
It's no different from having a knife hanging over your head. The mere thought of it makes me tremble.
宋缺，你应该不是。
虽然各位方才已经有所较量，但作为最初的当事人，在下还是有必要重新梳理一遍事情的脉络。
I know you have been filled in already, but as someone deeply involved in this from the very beginning, I believe it's necessary to walk you through everything that happened once again.
一切始于100年之前。我曾在阿杰塔的建议下，试图将离恶石像尽数囚于一枚特殊的星之环中，令影灾就此作结。
It all began 100 years ago, when under Ajita's exhortation, I attempt to contain the 10 faces of misery within a special astral ring in hopes of putting an end to the shadow calamities.
星之环竟然还有这种功能！
Can the astral ring really do that?
阿杰塔称它为黄道星之环，据说在所谓的分野中拥有特殊的地位。
Ajita called it the Zodiac astral ring. It is said to play a special role in the so-called specialization.
只可惜，那是我急于以凡人之躯登上神阶，并未参透这法宝的长短之处。
Alas, I wanted so badly to ascend to divinity as a mortal that I failed to see clearly what that artifact was capable of.
当我试图将离恶石像整合收束时，影迸发出的巨大能量将那枚星之环崩解为7块。我等手中那貌似星之环的厌恶，便是由此而来。
When I was attempted to integrate and capture the 10 faces of misery, a tremendous surge of energy erupted from the shadows and shattered the astral ring into 7 pieces. The counterfeels we possess that resemble the astral rings are product of that incident.
只是100年前的我并未想到，影中意志也会因此淡语。
But back then, I failed to conceive the possibility that the Willow Shadows would be born as a result.
换句话说，当时的高密度能量催生了类似于律者的存在。
In other words, the high-density energy bolt gave rise to something akin to a Hersha.
如果将离恶石像比作地球上崩坏能出现的具体形式，那么白吉先生的做法就是强行汇聚崩坏能，试图用催生律者核心的办法来掌控全局。
Exactly. If we compare the 10 faces of misery to the particular forms that Honkai energy assumes on Earth, then what Mr. Baiji attempted was to forcefully gather the energy, aiming to seize control by condensing a Hersha core. They got nothing of it, but hey, I'm glad that Helia and Coralie could have some some connection to the Hersha and Shadows, because that's one thing that really interesting is it's like whole new world, right? So like continent, but because we're on the higher scale, it's like planet, and they have a different perspective of Honkai that we have.
那么，以地球的经验，
That means, according to your experience on Earth,
很遗憾，以地球的经验而言，这是用无知无畏都无法形容的激进之举。
sadly, according to our experience on Earth, what you did was so reckless that your ignorance is hardly enough to justify it.
不如说，廊丘竟然还能存在到今天，这真是一个不折不扣的奇迹。
It's a miracle that Langchu is still around today.
昔日罪业，难辞其咎。我今日入垢破障，此事断不会以此作结。
I must answer for my past crimes. I shall venture into a trap and break through the obstacles today. This will not end here.
师父，
送去，为师。不，没什么。
No. It's nothing.
无论如何，
Whatever the case.
先前寻梦者见到空中的影球之时，我便将诸位谋入彀中。种种行径，是在下肆意妄为，还望各位谅宥。
By the time entropy saw the shadow sphere above, I had already entangled all of you in my seam. Please, forgive my rashness.
不必道歉，白吉先生。如果真像梦境中预示的那样，被钳制的影子重获自由，不仅廊丘会片瓦不存，欧夏恐怕也同样要失去根基。
No need to apologize, Mr. Baiji. If what was foretold in that dream comes true, and the imprisoned shadow regains its freedom, then there will be nothing left of Langqiu. Even Oxia will be shaken to its core.
所以，无论是寻梦者、赫利亚、克拉丽还是我，应该还有身在欧夏的陈学姐，只要能帮上忙，我们什么都愿意做。
Yeah, Entropy, Helia, Coralie, me, and even Chengchu and Oxia. We will do whatever we can to help.
喂，我们当然不会袖手旁观，可你怎么就直接开出了空头支票？
Oh, whoa. It goes without saying that we would never stand by and watch, but don't go around making grand promise on our behalf.
因为希娜知道，不管是继续调查类似绿者的存在，还是为世界炮的未来考虑，我们都有彻底解决问题的必要。
Sen is only saying this because she knows that we need to come up with a solution for this issue. We have got to investigate both the Herrscher as well as the future of the Bubble Universe.
而且，身为廊丘居民的松雀，可是和我们一路同行的伙伴，我们也不可能对他不闻不问。
Besides, Songchi is our friend. We have been through so much. She is a citizen of Langqiu. We are not going to abandon her. Oh, so cute.
这还真是患难见真情呢，寻梦者，你真是让咱感动的痛哭流涕、五体投地。
A friend. Indeed a friend. Entropy, you're bringing me to tears up.
多谢诸位相助，只是目前的局面尚不需各位立即付诸行动。
Thank you for your help, but considering the current situation, there is no need for you to take action at this moment. What do you want to say, Baiji?
立于离恶实相，凭自身异禀，为世人扶出灾祸，这是恕概莫能外的职责。所以接下来，我会先行与其他树商榷对策。
It is the unshakable duty of the Shu to eliminate the calamities facing the populace by utilizing our unique gifts based on the 10 faces of misery. Therefore, I will be consulting with the other Shus first.
有道理，等白吉先生他们有了谋划，我们再一起行动也不迟。总之，大家千万别客气。
That makes sense. We can act together once Mr. Baiji and the other Shu come up with a plan. Whatever the case, we will give it all we have got.
既然如此，在下倒是的确可以给出一个承诺。
In that case, I can make you a promise.
永久消除影灾，让廊丘和欧夏从此摆脱侵染的仪式，它的确存在。
The ceremony that will eliminate the shadow calamities once and for all. Those cleansing Langqiu and Oxia of the contamination, it does exist. Yeah, and surely it does not require sacrifice or so.
哦，嘿嘿，师傅果然是胸有成竹。嘿，
Hehe, Master knows what he is saying. Entropy is not happy about this.
对策。白姬他果然还是要考虑。
A solution, IG. We need to think of.
徐梦者，你在想什么呢？咱怎么觉着你自打醒来就一副心事重重的样子？难不成还在担心那个梦？
Oh my god, can I take a picture of you? What's on your mind, Entropy? You have looked out of sort ever since you woke up. Is that dream you had still troubling you?
啊，
Well, you know, it kinda is. It's still troubling me especially.
与其说我是担心那个梦境，不如说我是在思索它的原理。
I'm not really worried about the dream. I'm just thinking about how it works.
哦，确实。老话说，梦境和现实都是相反的。没想到咱师傅竟然能把你的梦境当作推演情势的沙盘。
Ah, true. People used to say that dreams are the opposite of reality. I never imagined Master could use yours as a kind of sandbox for analyzing the situation.
唉，决议的事情真是越想越让人觉得恐怖。
But I think without perception, the more I think about it, the more I find it unsettling.
不过你也别担心，有咱师傅和树在，凡事都能如解倒悬。嘿嘿，再不济你还有咱呢。
But you don't need to worry about anything. With Masters and the others shoes around, all of our problems are gonna get solved. If everything fails, you still have me.
松雀，你
得，你这又要小瞧我了不是？
I know. You don't think I'm strong enough?
克拉丽不是说咱就是那种危在旦夕也要抓紧睡个午觉的人吗？所以只要跟咱一处，就算是世界末日也能，
Like Coralie said, I'm the sort of person who would sneak in a nap while the world was ending. So as long as you're with me, even if the apocalypse is coming, you will still,
也能大吉大利。
have luck on my side.
你学的倒挺快。
You're quite a quick learner.
彼此，这倒也是一种现学现卖。
Seems that Shang-Chi's optimism has rubbed off on you. Who's I don't.
Huh?
Oh. Shang-Chi.
陈学姐，欧夏和郎秋的信号又通了吗？
Oh, Shang-Chi, is the signal between Oxia and Langqiu working again?
貌似没有，可能是白吉那边有什么特殊的方法吧。
Not really. Maybe Baji has some special trick to make it work.
确实，如果白吉先生不是匣子的原主人，那么我确实无法像这样和他建立特殊的通讯。
That's true. If Mr. Baji was not the original owner of the box, I would not be able to establish a special communication with him like this.
千城纪元，这个我们如今习以为常的词汇，其实暗含了欧夏作为世界炮的特殊性。我们拥有正版的末日之矛，但我们的世界本身，事实上来自人造。
Era of relocation. This familiar concept hints at the speciality of Oxia as a bubble universe. Although we have an authentic anchor of the apocalypse, our world itself was artificial.
而郎秋，则恰恰相反。
But Langqiu is quite the opposite.
什么？
What?
这也是我和白姬先生交流之后才确认的。
I only confirmed this after communicating with Mr. Baiji.
当年，他和阿杰塔女士合作，制造了末日之矛的赝品，并利用矛本身的互斥性，成功将真品的末日之矛排除在郎丘之外。
He cooperated with Mr. Jita to make a forgery of the Anchor of the Apocalypse and utilize the repulsion between different archons to push the real anchor of the apocalypse outside Langqiu.
这样，廊丘使用的赝品可以受利托斯特调控，与影的规则深入结合，而开拓出欧夏的真品，则可以为廊丘的稳定从外部构筑最后一层保险。
That way, the forgery used by Langqiu could be manipulated by Litos and fall into line within the Shadow's rules. Meanwhile, the real anchor that created Oxia could provide a final layer of protection from the outside, thereby ensuring Langqiu's stability.
更准确地说，是将记忆与时光之匣保留在一个影无法操控的场所。
More accurately, it means to stash the box of memories of time in a place where the shadow cannot manipulate it.
而现在的结果也说明，如果预先没有留下这手，此刻我等已然死无葬身之地。
And now, the grim reality indicates that had we not planned beforehand, we would have died a tragic death by now.
寻梦者，如果用现代技术语言描述，你所经历的是利用影球搜集的实时数据，以记忆与时光之匣作为云端，以你的大脑作为终端，编译生成的推演沙盘。
Dreamseeker, in modern tech speak, your journey is the sandbox compiled by life data collected by the Shadow Sphere using the box as the cloud and your brain as the terminal, which is a recognitive dream?
理论上说，同样与数据之海有复杂渊源的希娜，甚至我本人，也有机会担当这样的终端，只是匣子选择了你而已。
In theory, Sena, who too has complex ties to the sea of data, or even myself could be terminals, but instead it chose you. Or maybe because Sena chose you. God.
哦，刚才陈学姐说，赝品末日之矛可以受利托斯特调控，难道这就是影坛诞生时发生的事？多尼戈尔能自行离开廊丘探索，其实也是因为这个原因。
Chengchi, just mention Litos can control the fake Anchor of the Apocalypse. Could this be what happened to the pool of shadows came into being? So, Duonigo's ability to leave Langqiu and explore freely is also linked to this.
你推测的不错，与利托斯特的渊源，的确是他能够在廊丘与欧夏之间来去自如的根本原因。或者说，
onto something. It's linked to Litos, is why it can freely traverse Langqiu and Oxia. Or rather, I really wish there would be someone with a stat that can just count how many health Baiji has.
师傅，
Master.
没事，我还不算病入膏肓。
Fret not. I'm not yet at death's door.
只不过，找其他树沟通的事情，看来的确要抓紧时间。
However, I must make hassle to reach out to the other shoes.
那师傅需要我帮忙吗？
Master, how can I help?
对啊，要不我们也一起来吧。
Oh, right, count us in. Oh, Sena is just... Seeing Sena like so innocent, so pure, like... Just wanna have, like... Man.
不必。
No need.
此时，事关虚验的手法，
this man pertains to the technique of falsehood.
可是
But
莫慌，各位还有其他的重要工作。
fear not, each of you has other fish to fry.
是的，我们需要验证末日之矛的某些可能性，以及
Precisely. We must verify certain potential concerning the anchor of the apocalypse. Also,
在我离开的这段时间，多陪松雀聊聊身边的事。
please keep Songchi company while I'm away. And ain't no way you're saying like this. Please keep Songchi company as long as you can. I don't know even which side to pick. We pick no sides. IG's ritual is literally, well, needs a sacrifice and perception just waiting for us to die.
你不带走松雀吗？
You are not taking Songchi with you?
不必，毕竟在绝背叛之后，他已经失去了能让自己代行全能的媒介。
That won't be necessary. After Perception's betrayal, she lost the conduit to wield authority. What, who, Songchi?
而另一方面，考虑到我们可能要永久性的对外封闭廊丘，
On the other hand, considering you may need to close Langqi off permanently,
这样做也更有人情味一些。
would be more humane. That's literally what happened in at the start of this chapter.
“各位，我们稍后再会。”
Farewell for now, everyone. Okay, that's quite an interesting chapter, to be honest. We have some connection to the shadows and Honkai, and looks like, to make it sum up, Baiju was trying to heal the shadows. He concentrated a lot of shadows energy in one point, which simply how you create Hershus on Earth. So he just created the Wheel of Shadows, which is an interesting name to name it like this, more like, Wheel of Honkai. And, well, I'm not sure. If Perception really the bad guy, she's just a natural power of the world who does not want to be eliminated. The same as Earth, like living with Honkai, we can also live with shadows here too. I'm not sure how it will be evolved, and also please, can we save Songchu for some stuff? And yeah, we are half through this chapter actually. That's episode 4. Out of presumably 1, 2, 3, like from 8, right? And I thank you for watching, listening. I wish you a great day, night, afternoon, and see you in the part 5 of A Crime Foretold, where we have to spend the day with Songchu and take others' shoes and see what happened next.